to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Mega Construct's Trapjaw from Heman. Here is Trapjaw, and he's very, very lime green. This is the one that actually was packaged with the skull, and it's got like this whole blaster thing with a kind of a readout of Eternia, so I'll bring that in. I don't happen to have a skull handy, but I do happen to have the blaster thing as well. This blaster thing looks like the blaster that comes off of Castle Grayskull, which is pretty neat. This is a cool little throwback, and the fact that this is like a readout of Eternia on a huge screen is pretty cool. So if you guys out there can't actually afford to get the huge, gigantic Castle Grayskull, these are two nice little additions just to get to set up kind of in the background for your figures. But anyway, Trapjaw is kind of the star of the show here. I know that he's not the normal teal color, but that's okay. I actually don't mind this version. I think it's kind of cool looking, really, myself. I'm really into this neonish color, so it just speaks to me. Speaking of speaking, he actually does have a movable mouth, which is funny, and if you move it down all the way, he's actually got a full mouth. I think they missed the boat. The Trapjaw is supposed to not actually have a lower jaw. This jaw here is supposed to be his jaw, but that's okay. I think it's cool that his jaw actually moves up and down. I do like the fact that they put a tiny little hole in the top, so that way you can maybe use a piece of thread, so that way you can like slide down a zip line, which would be funny. I'm really into that. I've always loved Trapjaw. He's probably one of my favorite villains, other than Skeletor, just because of all the crazy gimmicks that he had built into him. Does have this huge like pauldron here on one side of just like this huge mechanical arm, which is pretty neat. And then he's got this other hand here that's got a nice little kind of a brace. So he's got a bit of an arm brace. These are separate pieces, by the way, so if you do plan on getting these guys, this is separate. This is actually attached whenever you get him. I wouldn't be surprised someday this type of little thing like that right there will come up missing, and they're like, oh, that's a Trapjaw, but he's missing his lower jaw, which is kind of funny. But, you know, anyway, I always liked his helmet, by the way. His helmet always reminded me of like a Centurion or something like that. So this guy kind of reminded me of some dude that like went through a real bad war, and then he was just put back together by some mad scientist trying to do some Frankenstein stuff with him, which was funny, and I actually was really into that, so I thought it was cool. But anyway, let's get into his accessories here before we get into posability, because it's a little hard to pose him when he's got all these accessories hanging off of him. First off, he's got this claw arm, which is pretty cool, and this claw arm here is on a little peg, so you just pull the little peg piece out. And then you can take another piece here, just a hook. He's got a hook here, so you can give him this hook hand. So now he's got a hook hand, so you can, like, I don't know, grab Heman or Battle Cat or something like that with it, which is kind of cool. And then he's got what I've always called the fly swat. This literally looks like a fly swat, or maybe he's making flapjacks. I don't know. I always thought it was funny. He's got this huge, like, spatula hand type of thing. I know it's supposed to be like a fly swat or something, because I mean, look, it's got holes in it. It's made to smack bugs or something. I don't know. Maybe he's shooting the flies away from Skeletor, because Skeletor's got a BO problem. I don't know. And then he's got, finally, probably the coolest accessory, his little laser gun. And I like the laser gun. Very good detail on that laser gun, by the way. Love the sculpting on it. All the sculpting on these, I have to say, is fantastic, especially for this size. The belt on him is kind of a rubbery material, so that's kind of a disclaimer for you guys out there if you guys are trying to get hold of one of these. He does have 3 loops, and like I said, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to break them. I mean, you really have to like yank on them in order to break them. We like the fact that the belt actually has a lot of details there in it. He's a really, really neat looking guy. He does have really good leg articulation, and his little knee can do that. And this arm here doesn't actually have any articulation, but I mean the original toy didn't either. There was no articulation whatsoever. It was just kind of stuck in one position. That's fine though. At least it's on a ball joint, so you can move it around and give it a little bit of emoting. Then you got this arm here that's on a complete ball joint. You can move it around a complete 360. His hands actually on a thing, so you can literally spin his hand completely around, which is cool. And the other cool thing is, you know, if you want him to, he can also hang on to his own accessories, sort of. I mean, if you want him to, you can just, you know, he's hanging on to this. Or you can kind of get him to hold it by the peg part, but it doesn't really fit all that well. I always thought it'd be funny if you had him, like, oh, there we go. Got it. So here he is, lighting the stove, getting ready to flip some flapjacks and swatting the flies away, because, you know, that's what Trapjaw does. He makes food. No, he's not a chef. He's supposed to be like some guard dude. He's hilarious. I don't know. Always been into him. I just think it's cool that he has like such an accessory arrangement, because not many of these come with a crazy amount. By the way, he does have waist articulation too. He does like rotate the waist. His head's obviously on a little ball joint, so you can move his head around. And I can see people in the future, you know, popping these apart and creating their own like little He-Man dudes, and that's cool. You know, we used to do that even when we were kids. You're not supposed to pull them apart, but we did. Some of us really wanted to create our own like He-Man dude to put in the whole realm of things. But I'm a big fan of him. I think he's really cool. These guys do happen to have like little stands that they come with, like a little Mega Block type of thing, and like I said, they are Lego brick compatible, but I don't know, I don't use these guys as Lego bricks. These guys to me are just their own thing. I'm too much of a fan of this to not like this. A bit of a size comparison, here he is next to Panther with Skeletor just hanging out trying to get on Panther. So I mean, he does scale very well with him. By the way, you can set him on there if you wanted to. But you find that cool. But yeah, I like Trapjaw. He's cool. I've always been into He-Man, and this is such a cool little size type of thing. I know you guys out there, most of you guys collect Transformers that watch my stuff, so there's an Action Master next to him. It's kind of tall. I mean, I guess Grimlock here could be helping him out. Let's see if Grimlock can hold his flapjack holder. That'd be funny. Please hold his flapjack holder. That'd be hilarious. Oh, good grief. Yep. Grimlock's going to help him make flapjacks today. Because, you know, Grimlock's king, and he wants him to do it right. This is just funny. I am so into this kind of crazy play pattern. It's hilarious. But anyway, one little thing I wanted to show with the little gun that it comes with. This actually has a triggering mechanism. It's got a little, you see this little kind of a clear yellow piece. You push on this, you know, actually fire out, and it fires a little missile. It's kind of cool. It's something they didn't necessarily have to do back when they made these, but these little tiny things like this is what really, you know, to me, kind of brings things together. By the way, this thing, obviously, because it's Lego brick, has got a stupid amount of freaking articulation. Like, you can literally do pretty much anything you want with it, and these handles here do move back and forth. So, I mean, it's a brick build. Most of you guys know how bricks are, so you can kind of do anything you would want with these. But I just wanted to kind of point that out. But anyway, this has been Plasticon. This has been a quick little review of a Mega Construx He-Man toy. I'll see you guys around. I play more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye!